Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today we are talking about the Alpha Hunter, the independent Hirogen warship. It has base stats of 4, 2, 3, 4, making it come in at 26 points. It has decent attack and agility, but it is a little bit fragile. However, the named ability seeks to make up for that fragility by hopefully letting you get out of arc. After you move, you may perform a sensor echo action with the one straight as a free action, even if you are not cloaked. I think this is an action that can see a lot of play, especially in light of what we saw at Worlds. I don't think it is a win all the time card, but I think it is something that could be a great part of what you're doing in a fleet. The one sensor echo allows you to adjust just a little bit, up or down, a little bit left or right. It gives you some flexibility and the potential to get out of arc or get somebody into arc. Makes a difference with being able to get shots, and that can make a huge difference in the game. The generic loses a shield, loses a weapon, so if you don't really need the named ability, and you don't care too much about the shield, then for 24 points, this is actually a nice generic ship to take, and a really nice frame to be able to start building a swarm. I could see a very scary build consisting of 4 of these, and then some upgrades, maybe even 5. All depends on what you want to do resource-wise. So you definitely have options here. The first captain we get is Captain Carr. He's 8 skill, he gets 2 elite talents. When attacking during the modified attack dice step, he can re-roll one of his attack dice twice. In addition, if his captain skill is greater than the target ship's skill number, he gets 1 extra die. Having 2 abilities and 2 talent slots is a very usable captain. Carr has a lot of potential. He has a lot of synergy, especially with stalking mode as an elite talent. But the beauty is that he doesn't need a lot of crew to really make him tick. If you put an admiral with him or a fleet captain, he's even better. But realistically, Carr at skill 8 will have someone he can fire at who is lower skill, at least early on in the game, so that he can get his bonus. The other captain in this pack is Alpha Hirogen, skill 6, 1 talent, non-unique, which is the important thing here. When attacking with your primary weapon, you may convert one of your blank results into a hit. I really like this ability. Being able to have some free consistency with your attacks is great, and the ability to instantly go from a blank into a hit is even better. You take battle stations with whatever ship you're on, and you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself a lot of hits. But even better, non-unique. Yeah, it's 4 points, but this is the first and only non-unique talent holder captain we've seen in this game. So that's something to look out for. We have 3 elite talents in this pack. The first is Full Reverse. During the activation phase, after you reveal your dial, but before you actually move, you can discard this card to do a 1 or 2 reverse instead of whatever you do, and the reverse maneuver that you perform is a white move instead of normally a red. For 2 points, this is a very neat trick to have up your sleeve. I think this could go very well on Voyager, a ship that doesn't back up at all and has trouble going forward in small increments. Just to be able to pull a couple of tricky maneuvers. Might also be nice on the Scimitar. It's nice on the Alpha Hunter. There's very few ships that full reverse isn't nice on. The question just becomes, is it worth your talent slot? Is it worth 2 points? More often than not, my answer to that is no, but full reverse is always under consideration. The next talent is Stalking Mode. Action, discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 3. The target ship's skill number is reduced by 2, and whenever your ship attacks that ship, you get 1 extra attack die. So the important thing is that the skill reduction affects that ship all the time for everyone, even after your ship dies. When the ship that used Stalking Mode is destroyed, Stalking Mode's effect still happens. That extra attack die is great because it's an ability that just keeps on keeping on, and who wouldn't love an extra attack die every single time they make an attack as a one-time action? Sounds like a win-win to me. So stalking mode is one of those action discards that I don't dislike taking. I actually rather enjoy it. I think it's a card that could see a lot more play. It's very situational, but the main effect is reducing a captain's skill by 2, and that can tie into a whole lot of other abilities. So be sure to take a look at both sides of that and don't just focus on the extra attack die. The last talent in this pack is Intercept Course. You may discard this card immediately before you move in order to change your move for the round. If an enemy ship is in your forward firing arc after you complete this maneuver, you may perform a battle station's action as a free action, and it can only be purchased for a Hirogen ship, and it costs 5 extra points for any captain other than Car or a Hirogen captain. Free battle stations is nice. I like Intercept Course in concert with stalking mode, if you can put them both on Car. They're also a nice combo for Reliant Khan, being able to get a free battle station to trigger his ability, more attack dice, get behind someone, convert things to criticals. You're kind of in a win-win. The downside, of course, is that it can only go on a Hirogen ship, but still, it's not the worst thing. I think it makes sense, lore-wise, but it's a card that I think has some great play mission-wise, and it gives the Alpha Hunter a little extra value. We get one crew in this pack, and that is Hojin. He gives you an extra weapon slot, and if your captain's skill is ever below a 4 when you are attacking, during the damage step, you may discard your captain card to add 1 extra damage. If you do this, then Hojin becomes your captain with a skill of 7. The neat trick that I like pulling here is taking a generic captain, and then the first time you deal damage, your skill is below 4. So then you discard that generic captain, you have Hojin, and now you do 1 extra damage, and you have a skill 7 captain for 3 points. It's very rare that you need the weapon upgrade aspect of his card, but every so often you might, and it certainly is better that it's there than not there. It is important to note that you do that in the deal damage step, not in the roll attack dice or modify attack dice, so you get to know exactly how much damage is being applied, so you'll know if you can do that to get an exact kill, or maybe take down their shields, and that's an important distinction. For weapons, we have standard photon torpedoes, not going to really go into that. Then we have subnucleonic beam, so for attack die range 1 to 2, it's an attack disable the card. In addition to inflicting normal damage for each uncancelled hit or crit, disable 1 crew upgrade on the target ship of your choice. I kinda like it. It can severely hurt someone's combo if they're trying to disable, re-enable a whole bunch of crew with Phlox or the Doctor or Leonalis or something like that. So if you can throw in some extra disables into the work, you kind of mess up the chain. Still, it's 5 extra points for anything other than a Hirogen ship, so ultimately this is only going to go on the Alpha Hunter or the generic. It's a bit low at 4 attack dice, so you'd probably want something like Hojin to bump it up, maybe a friendly Denatra, or a Scotty action to get 2 extra attack dice. Things of that nature help you just make this hit harder. But subnucleonic beam is not the worst weapon upgrade out there. Lastly, we have 2 tech cards. First off, we have Sensor Network. During the planning phase, after all ships have chosen their maneuver, you may disable this card to target 1 ship anywhere, look at that ship's maneuver dial, and then choose your maneuver. The target ship cannot change its maneuver after you've looked at it, and this upgrade can only go on a Hirogen ship. Pretty cool. We like being able to look at maneuvers. We talked about that in the Scimitar pack, Viceroy. We talked about that in the Species 847 2-pack with Bioship Alpha Pilot. Being able to know where your opponent's going, at least for their first move, can be a great tool. So Sensor Network, something to play with. I think it's more mission playable, but it has a place in tournament play, depending on the scenario. And the last card in this pack is Taniam Armor Plating. Whenever an enemy ship attempts to acquire a target lock on your ship, roll 2 defense dice. If you roll at least 1 evade, the target lock fails. No ship can have more than 1. Also, you can take an action, disable this card to remove a target lock from beside your ship. So the math on this works out that 56.25% of the time you will evade the target lock. So a little bit more than half. For 3 points, I think I'll pass. If it was a little more certain, if it was 3 defense dice, I'd probably take it. But for a little bit better than a coin flip, I can't really justify a 3-point card. However, if you know for sure that you're facing somebody that loves running secondary weapons and depends on target locks, then this is a card to take. This card slows down someone who uses fighters a lot because that's their primary form of offensive efficiency. So it's certainly a playable card. It's just not the best card in my book. Overall, I really like the Alpha Hunter pack. I think that it is definitely worth a purchase. I think that you could almost justify a second just because I like the generic ship enough and I like the Alpha Hirogen Skill 6 Captain. However, you don't have to have a second because there are other captains that do similar abilities, although not at as high a skill, so it really is up to you. However, if you want something thematic, something that makes for a cool swarm, the Hirogens are definitely up there with a good ship. The named Alpha Hunter really has a neat ability. I think that Sensor Echo is something that's going to come more into play, and having a ship that does it naturally without the need to be cloaked is only going to be better. The nice thing about this ship only having 3 hull is that you can use improved deflector screens on it from the Gornaris expansion, and that will negate the first damage that the ship takes each turn, or a damage that it takes each turn of your choice. That can only help it survive. So you can really start to make the Alpha Hunter survivable. I hope that you've learned how to better utilize something in this pack. I hope that you'll give the Alpha Hunter a hard look, maybe go out and purchase one. If you do, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time, you guys take care.